Hello everybody. How are you today? We are back after a month-long hiatus. Monday Munchies has returned. Are you excited? I'm excited. Thank you so much for bearing with me. If you've been with me and known that I took a break, took a little month-long hiatus there. I'd gotten a new job, needed to adjust to the work hours and when I could fit my crossing border stuff in while still making quality content instead of being a zombie while I made them. So here we are. We're back. I've got my world. I don't know what just fell off of that. I've got my Let the Adventures Begin mug. Focus. There it goes. I got my Let the Adventures Begin mug right there. Filled with some coffee as per usual. You'll notice my hair is a different color. I got new glasses. Let's get a little shot in those glasses because they're cute. I had to get a new prescription. I thought about getting the same yellow glasses and putting stickers on them, but I went with a change. I like these little round guys, so we're gonna use those. I think they're cutie. But you're wondering, it's been a month since you've seen my beautiful face, and since I've seen your beautiful faces, what country are we going to? Well, I figure we're going to South Africa in February. So let's explore some South African dishes before we go. Will mine be nearly as good as they probably are in Cape Town? No, they will not be. But I think they'll still be pretty good. And then when I get there, I'll be like, ooh, I remember this dish. Mine pales in comparison. But yeah. Oh my God, it's been so long since I've talked to the camera. To you guys, my chat setters. I hope you're doing good. Today we are making Bobotie. We're making, it sounds like bubble tea, which threw my mom off when I told her. She's like, I didn't know that was South African. I was like, well, a little different. It's actually a ground beef casserole dish. It sort of reminds me of a cheeseburger pie that I used to make when I was in college, actually. But with far more seasonings and deliciousness and some weird ingredients. Not weird, unusual ingredients that we'll see when we go over to the table. We've got a couple curveballs for you that are gonna throw you off a little bit maybe. But Rebecca Borhill says that these ingredients are really key and they really make the dish, at least for her. So we're gonna keep them in. I guess you can make them without it, but we're gonna keep it in. So we are visiting some new friends this month. We have Rebecca Borhill, and this is actually her grandmother's recipe for this, so extra excited. And that is coming to us from tasteoftheplace.com. Of course, links below in the description as per the usual, as well as links to our Patreon, our merch shop, blah, blah, blah. But let's get into it. I'm ready to cook. I'm really ready to eat. It is morning and I've not had breakfast yet because this is gonna be my breakfast. So let's get to it. I'll see you over at the counter. Hi everybody, welcome to the counter for the first time in a while. We have a bajillion ingredients. It's more like a million. I don't think a bajillion, that's a little exaggerative. But we do have a bunch of things here. So Rebecca's recipe, which is great. I love the name Rebecca. Oh, I did forget to introduce myself over there in case you haven't been around. I don't know who I am. I am Becky. I am the creator, director, everythinger of Monday Munchies, as well as the overarching project Crossing Borders. So if you're new here, nice to meet you. I only go by Rebecca when I'm in trouble or when I'm being businessy. So you can just call me Becky. But Rebecca is the one who's bringing us this recipe today. She uses double the ingredients I'm using. I halved the recipe because I've come to find out through my cooking that even when I think people in my household will like and eat my food, they don't. So I just made half the amounts, that way I can bring it for lunches to that new job, and I can enjoy it without having to waste anything or freeze anything, which then usually gets wasted because it gets freezer burned. I don't have great containers apparently to reduce freezer burn, so I don't want to waste any food. I'm getting better at that, at figuring out how to make stuff without wasting. So I have halved all of the ingredients. So if you notice when you go make this, which you totally should, that it's different quantities, that's why. So what we have here is 1 large white onion, a 1/4 cup of milk, and a 1/2 cup of milk. You want that divided. 1 tablespoon of olive oil, calls for 4 bay leaves. I just left this out like this so that way they stay in their packaging and stay fresh for now, but those are just going to be a topping for the casserole to give it a little pizzazz at the end. So I'm gonna leave them in there to keep them fresh and green. 1/2 a lemon, juice and zested, divided. 1 eggeroni, 2 teaspoons of tomato paste. Interestingly, 2 slices of bread. This is not the thing that's gonna throw us off, because if you remember from Peru, we did a recipe where it also needed bread soaked in evaporated milk or condensed milk. We're gonna soak it in regular old milk this time. A little strange, but a little different. But we know from previous recipes that it's a thing and it's delicious, so we're gonna go with it. 3/4 of a pound of ground beef. You need a mix of seasonings, which I didn't want to fill all these little bits and bobs full of seasoning, so I just put them all together in a little seasoning mix here, and I'll let you know everything that's in there. You've got 1 clove of garlic. I almost did the full 2 cloves of garlic because I'm a garlic fiend, but I didn't. Stuck with the recipe, didn't want to throw off the ratios. And then you have 2 teaspoons of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of dried herbs. I had basil and oregano, so that's what I used. Whatever herbs you have, if you've got some thyme, I don't know what else would be good in it. It just said whatever herbs you have on hand. I just did basil and oregano because that's what I had, and I know what they taste like, and that's what was suggested on the recipe, so that's all I put in there because I wasn't sure what else. I think thyme would have been good in here, maybe rosemary, but I don't know, that could really throw a dish, rosemary, so I didn't put any of that in there, just in case. I also didn't have any of that dried, so I already had the basil and oregano, so it was 1 less ingredient to buy. A 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground turmeric, and then, like I said, that 1 clove of garlic, finely chippity chopped. As always, I forgot, 1 second, pepper and salt. You're probably wondering, all this except for maybe the bread seems pretty normal. It is. Here's where I'm gonna throw you off. We've got fruit. Yes, I said fruit. You have a 1/2 tablespoon of apricot jam. Mine's actually apricot preserves because it's all we had in our store. And then also a 1/4 cup of fruit chutney. The only chutney that was in the Wegmans I go to, actually the Wegmans around me, just the stores around me, was a mango chutney, so that's what we're using. It was either that, a coriander chutney, which isn't a fruit, or a hot mango. And so I just chose regular old mango chutney. So those are the 2 ingredients that threw me. I guess it really lends well to adding a sweetness to the dish. I'm sure it does. I'm trusting it. It sounds very interesting to me. Nobody's gonna know I put the fruit in there if anyone tries it from my family. They will not approve. So, also we saw from the moussaka when we did Greece that how the sweetness really tends to work. They didn't put fruit in theirs, but they had a lot of sweeter ingredients that I didn't expect. So we know it works, just not necessarily with the fruit. So we're gonna see. Our first step, preheat the oven to 350. BRB. Step 2, soak your bread in your 1/2 cup of milk. Got a bowl? Got some bread. Oh, got some very full milk. Boop, 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 boop. And I'm just gonna make sure that that bread gets like soaked in there. So we're gonna let that enjoy. Off to the side, we're gonna marinate that bread in some milk. Now that that's done, we're going to go to the stove, heat our oil and our spice mixture, and do some more of the recipe. I'll see you over there. Bye. Welcome back to the counter. The counter? We're not the counter, we're at the stove. Welcome back to the stove. Alrighty, we have our oil. And we're gonna heat this over a medium heat. You also wanna go ahead, I don't know if you can see, oh you can, perfect. You wanna go ahead and grab your onions as well. You're gonna need this along with your spice mixture. And I'm also assuming you're gonna need your ground meat, so I'm gonna just bring it over here so it's there in case we need it. But again, that spice mixture, including the clove of garlic. Look at it on there. Getting all dressed by all these seasonings. Yum. So as usual, I put my little 2 pieces of onion in here, or whatever we're cooking. That helps me know when it starts to get hot, so it's bubbling. Not boobling. I don't know what you want to call that. Oop, there we go. So we're just going to cook these onions until they're soft, which I don't think should take too long. And yeah, we're just going to let this cook for a few minutes. Oh my god. Oh, it smells weird. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I had COVID back in 2020, and I'm still dealing with repercussions. So cooked onions and cooked onions smell very strange to me. That's never come back. And they still taste good. They're still delicious for me. I still like to eat them, obviously, or I wouldn't keep putting them and stuff. They just smell weird. I have a couple other weird things like that too, thanks to long COVID. But onions are definitely weird because I use them a lot, so I notice it a lot. While this is cooking, it's going to be a little loud when we do the beef, so I didn't want to talk then, but I just wanted to give you a little information about Bobotie. So it is considered by many to be the national dish of South Africa, so we're really starting with a banger here, as the kids might say. Starting with a pretty prominent dish in South Africa, and it does remind me of carapulcra from Peru in the way that it came about. So basically, this originated in Cape Malay. I think that's how you say it, Malay? I'm gonna say Malay because they speak Malay. So this originated in Cape Malay, and at the time, it was being used by the Dutch East India Company as a place to exile their slaves who were rebelling against their company. So it was occupied at that time by a lot of Indonesians. A lot of Indonesian slaves, rebel slaves. That's apparently where Dutch East India Company sent them. They were joined by other slaves from different countries, different beliefs, a lot of Muslims. So the food, the cuisine, the culture, the flavors all changed and evolved, adapted to the new cultures that were coming in. And so from that, this dish was born. And the flavors that were concocted during this time of this melting pot of people is now considered to be an integral base part of South African flavors and cuisine. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and say that these are soft. So we're going to add the curry powder, mixed herbs, cumin, turmeric, blah blah blah, stirring constantly until the garlic is soft, which should definitely not take much time. I'm basically wanting to get these onions coated. My producer, Lucy the dog, is here. Oh, she went away. My cats don't really come up anymore when I'm cooking. They know to be quiet on this side. dog is excited that there's food. Cats don't care much, except for Patches, who will eat anything off your plate if you give him the chance. Can you even see her? Can you see her little tail over there? Lucy, come here. Come on camera real quick. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. My name's Lucy, and I'm cute. Ooh, that's a whole lot. Sorry, that's spicy smelling. I smell that curry. Oh, it smells good though. Alrighty, so now garlic is soft. It really didn't probably take that long, just a minute or two. We are going to add the ground beef. I hate touching raw meat. I just don't like the way it feels. Except for that pork belly that one time for whatever reason. So, we're adding the ground beef. Oh, I should mention, Mom Pan is back. I'm back, Mom Pan is back. If we were making the full recipe, probably would not have put it in Mom Pan, so it would have been too much. But you want to like break this all up. You don't want a lot of big chunks, and you're gonna cook this until it's browned. Maybe Mom Pan was still too small. You know, I dream big for Mom Pan. I feel like once the meat is cooked down, it'll be fine. But until then, it might be a mess. It never said to add salt and pepper to taste yet, but I'm gonna do it right now. Throw a little pepper in there. I'm gonna throw a little salt in there. Stir it back up. Ooh, we're starting to brown up. Alright, I'm gonna leave this for a minute. I'm gonna grab some coffee and just kind of let it cook up without me mucking with it for a little bit. Alrighty, let's give it a check. You know, watched pot never boils, watched beef never browns, something like that. So I am glad I took a step away because I feel like I was not letting it just have some time to simmer in the sauce and stuff. And all these delicious juices because I was stirring it so much, so you know. Alright. While this is still cooking, we've still got some pieces that are not browned. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the rest of the items we're gonna need, which is your salt, pepper, apricot jam, chutney, tomato paste, and one of the bowls of the lemon zest and juice. Alright, it's looking pretty good. We are gonna put it in the oven. So there are some pieces that aren't quite browned yet, but like I said, we're gonna put it in the oven. So it's gonna cook some more. I turned off the heat. Now I'm gonna remove it from the heat in order to add the other ingredients. Can you still see it? Let me move you over a little bit. There you go. That'll work for now. So we're gonna stir in the apricot jam, your chutney, I don't know why I said it like that, but your fruit chutney, the lemon juice and the zest, tomato paste. We already did salt and pepper, but I'm gonna do a little more salt and pepper. And we're gonna mix that up. I'm gonna give it a taste real quick. I know it's not completely mixed. We're gonna put it in a pan, which will be like an oven-proof pan. I'm doing a casserole dish, which I think will help me be able to mix it better, but I am gonna take a little taste and see if it's good. See if the flavor combination is good. You can also add more lemon and more lemon zest at this point too, which is why it's reserved. So let's take a little nibble, see what we're doing. She says, Rebecca says it should be zingy and sweet and a little spicy. It says delightfully zingy. Ooh. Oh. I'm about to eat all of this. Not enough lemon in there for my taste, so I'm adding the rest of that. All right. Here's another thing. I'll meet you at the counter for it. You gotta deal with that bread milk concoction. See you over there. We're back and we've gotta deal with this bread milk concoction. What we're gonna do is, I don't know how this is gonna work. We're gonna squeeze the milk from the bread and reserve the milk. This feels gross. I don't like it. I don't know how to squeeze it. The bread is just falling apart. So we're gonna smush and tear the bread into small pieces. Oh my god, it's all falling back into the milk. No! I'm trying to squeeze you. There is some more milk left over in this bowl here, which I think is what we're gonna have to use because I can't squeeze any more milk out of it. The bread just wants to go with it. We're gonna mix this bread into the beef mixture, so I'll BRB on that. I can't really move the camera at this point, so I didn't realize this was gonna be quite this goopy and messy, and I don't want to put it back in the milk to set up the camera, so we're just gonna put it in the mixture. We'll be right back. Again, we're gonna reserve that milk, and we're gonna spread it in here. So we'll fast forward through this because it's gonna be boring. Okay, on to the next part. I'm gonna move this to the side and we are going to strain the milk that we got from the bread to get out those bread chunks. Because we don't want those, even though there's bread in the dish, don't want them in this part. This is just all bread though, so perfect. It's been strained. Look at that mushy mess. Oh yeah, I was like, we don't have enough milk. I forgot we've got a 1/4 cup of milk that we have reserved. Bam, pop that right in there with the other milk. And your egg. Ba-ba. So we're gonna beat this eggie into the milk. Sorry, I don't have a clear bowl so you can see. I should have grabbed a little clear bowl, but it's beating an egg into milk. It's gonna turn it into this light yellow color. A beautiful color, like a pale yellow. And we're gonna do a little salt and pepper. It says to taste, but I'm not tasting this egg mixture. Oh, actually, it says a 1/4 teaspoon of each. I just threw some in there. You're not really gonna go wrong with salt and pepper. I don't know why my arm is up like this, like I'm a T-Rex. Sometimes I just be doing that. So we are now gonna pour this over our meat mixture. So I don't know how to do this better so you can see it, friends. I'm just gonna go ahead and tip and tilt to kind of get the egg everywhere, egg mixture. Then you're going to decoratively scatter your bay leaves atop your bobotie. It said only 4, which really should have only been 2, but I think it looks cute. I'm gonna bring you over here so you can see it. I don't want. Ooh. Look at that deliciousness. Those decoratively scattered bay leaves really make a difference. So from here, we're gonna pop this in the oven for 45 minutes. We will see you back here in 45 minutes. Goodbye. Woo! All right, so we have this. It is sizzling. We are sizzling. Look at this thing. I'm gonna give you an overhead shot again. I'm sorry for moving you around so much. But look at that. Let me get this all light a little bit better. Look at it. Woo! That looks so good. I can't wait to cut into this and eat it and tell you how it tastes. I'm gonna let it cool for just a minute or two. I know, unusual for me, and I'll meet you over at the camera so we can dig in. Alrighty, jet setters, we have our Bobotie. Is it gonna focus? It's the question I always ask. It always does. This looks so good. So we're gonna give it, it's gonna be hot. I know it says I'm gonna let it cool. I let it cool for like 5 seconds. It's about as patient as you're gonna get from me. Just saying. So we're gonna dig right in. Get a little shot of that too. Come on, there you go. That goodness. Yum! Oh, it's so hot. Mmm! Whoa, baby! That's good. I like it's got like a sweetness to it with that jam in there. It doesn't really taste, you can't tell like, oh, this is apricot and mango. It just gives it a sweetness which helps balance the spiciness from the curry, helps balance the savoriness of the meat and the turmeric and all the spices and onions and garlic we used. It is almost gonna be a good breakfast, I'm gonna tell you what. Okay, I'm about to eat this whole thing. I feel like I say that every recipe, but I want to get in on this. So, thank you so much again for bearing with me while I had that month-long hiatus. I appreciate you still being here. And if you're new, welcome. Check out any of our other playlists, any of our other videos. They're all super good. Not that I'm biased or anything, of course. But you'll also find the links to this. Again, this is from Rebecca Borhill at tasteoftheplace.com. And this was Bobotie from South Africa. So if you want to check her out, well, the recipe's on there. Again, this is her grandmother's recipe, but the person who posted it isn't Rebecca, but the recipe comes from Rebecca Borhill. So you can go ahead, go on tasteoftheplace.com. Link will be in the description below. See this recipe, make it yourself. If you do, leave a comment below letting us know how it turned out. And just to say hi. We like to say hi to you guys. It's been a while, so it'd be nice to say hi to you guys and see how everybody's doing. Also in the description below will be a link to our Patreon. If you're not a Patreon member yet, you should really sign up. It's pretty cool. Each month, depending on which tier you're in, you'll get a photo from somewhere we've been. You'll get a print of that. You're also gonna get a custom item, usually a sticker, but also could be keychains, t-shirts. It all depends on what I have available for you that month, what special item I have available for you. Sometimes it's merchandise that's exclusively available only through Patreon. Sometimes it's a souvenir from somewhere I've been. Sometimes it's like candy from the country that we are learning about and doing recipes from. So I know when we did France, I did little like mints from France, and Japan had some little candies, little snackies. So sometimes it's that. You'll also, depending on which tier you're at, get extra recipes, bonus Monday Munchies that are only for your eyes, only at that tier. Other tiers don't see them. General public doesn't see it. They may be released later on down the road, but you guys will have exclusive access to it for at least a couple months or forever, depending on what I decide to do. So yeah, that's also a pretty cool little perk. It also comes, that one comes with like a newsletter as well to let you know what's going on for the next month and some other goodies. So make sure you sign up for our Patreon in the link below in the description. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, you know the rigmarole. Give us your support. You can buy some of our merchandise also in our Etsy store listed below. And that's it. I'm going to see you in the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves, be good to each other, and have a great day. Bye, y'all.